Years, Colorado's judicial district lines have been redrawn. This will reshape how justice is served in parts of the metro area. So joining me right now is first ever district attorney for the 23rd District, George Brauchler. George, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
This is, of course, not your first rodeo as DA. You've done this before, and you actually, oversaw some of the more heartbreaking cases throughout the metro area. But what is your vision for the 23rd District, and how do you approach it? Do you approach it differently than, the other times that you served?
Well, that last judicial district I was in charge of that went away yesterday was the 18th. It had Arapahoe County and about 88% of the population of Aurora. Aurora, Colorado's third largest city and second largest police department, generated a considerable amount of violent crime and other things related to urban crime. We just don't have that, mercifully, in Douglas, Elbert, and Lincoln. It allows us to focus our resources, not just on the violent crime, but now on some of the quality of life things, the property crimes.
Yeah. Do you approach that differently, though? I mean, you've been pretty open. You said, hey, criminals that go into Douglas County or Elbert County or Lincoln counties don't go here.
Right.
Do you approach it differently, or do you approach it the
No,
same?
It's a little different in this way. We're able to craft a message now that sets us apart from the rest of the metro area. I mean, it shouldn't be political, but I'm the last Republican DA in the entire metro area. And where the rest of the metro area seems to be moving in one direction, we're going to take a step back and say, you know what? Let's send the message that we want law-abiding people down here, and if you come down here, we'll keep you safe. But if you're not going to be law-abiding, there will be consequences.
Yeah, I want to get into immigration. Of course, we know that the president-elect is going to be inaugurated next week. He's been open about more tougher immigration stances. Douglas County also says that they're going to help out ICE in terms of what they can do. Where do you stand on that?
Well, one, I'm in favor of legal immigration, and our immigration system is broken, and I'd like to see us figure out a way to fix that. But when it comes to the illegal immigration piece, make no mistakes here. I'm not in the business of enforcing immigration law. That's a federal function. I am a local prosecutor. But having said that, if our federal partners, whether it's ICE or DEA, ATF, FBI, if they can help rid us of the criminal element inside the jurisdiction, well, you've got my support, because you're going to make my job that much easier.
In terms of the three counties in the 23rd, you mentioned that you want to put your face out there, right? Yep. So what does that include? Does that include you actually going on these cases and overseeing some of the cases in the 23rd District?
Well, listen, it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody from the last time I was DA. I like the courtroom. I like being in there. I like leading from the front. I'm not a lead from behind kind of guy. And I intend to do cases where they show up. Lincoln County, Elbert County, of course, Douglas County, which has 93% of our population. I'm going to be out there showing people this is how we're going to do it. You elected me to do this job. If you don't like it, you have 4 years to decide to change your mind. But my guess is they're going to like what we do.
Yeah. And last question here. This is day 2 for you as a DA for 23rd District. How is it going so far? What are some of the challenges from transitioning?
Huge challenge, which unforeseen, I think, until we started to get into it, was the technology piece. And that shouldn't be a big deal, but it is. Separating out the 23rd from an existing Colorado judicial technological structure has been really quite an effort. But the other part, and I mentioned this to you off air, it's the unknown, right? Like, what didn't we anticipate, or what crime might sneak up on us and dominate our bandwidth? Listen, right after I was the nominee in 2012 for the 18th Judicial District, guy walked into a movie theater at the corner of Alameda and 225 and tried to murder hundreds of people. That changed the dynamic of how that office was perceived and how it had to move forward. I just hope that at the end of this, people go, the 23rd was the most boring judicial district in the state of Colorado.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And congratulations, by the way, since the first time we met. So hopefully things go well.
Yeah, and one last thing. Coach Prime, please stay. I don't know if that's...
That is on the minds of a lot of people right now. Yeah, he was in Dallas the other day. Yeah. George Brauchler, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. You can also watch all of our interviews on our website, cbscolorado.com. Another important